am most optimistic about
in the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 months.
One of our high priority projects for 2024.
What was the biggest project that we've seen a return on, or where we're going to double down? Without a doubt, it's been our investment in embedded analytics. You can call it democratization of data or whatever the buzzword is, but our AEs love seeing their data in real time when they need it. And it's made everyone more efficient. Our territory sizes have grown. Our efficiency has gone up. We measure speed through pipeline. It's down about 10 days. These kind of things are all, every KPI that we have is improving. And it's without programs, without all this other stuff. It's the embedded analytics that everyone is giving the most credit to. And our sales leadership loves it too. These AEs all have ownership of their KPIs, and these coaching conversations are no longer debates about the legitimacy of my numbers, the legitimacy of my KPIs, and it's a real conversation about where I'm struggling and who to ask for help and what impact improving specific areas could have on a dollar amount. And so these embedded analytics are just driving ownership of KPIs, they're driving better conversations, and they are driving change in our organization where we put them.
Anything that I can do about providing the information automatically in a place where they will see it, right in their right in their Salesforce dashboard. So where are they living? They're living in Outreach, they're living in Salesforce. I want to provide that information right there. I'm also wanting to make sure that the right leads get to the right SDRs for them to be worked with the right information, with the right amount of context, what the person is doing, the account that they're on, the intent. So aggregating that at the account level as well as the individual level.
The account and opportunity visibility, when you have a great white spacing dashboard, sales likes to use it, and that visibility is really key.
We built out some pretty nifty product definitions that allow us to see, which of our core products and services are being sold, which ones are won, which ones are lost, which ones are currently in pipeline. And then how does that fit in with all the other white space accounts that we currently have? And so the goal of all of that is really arming our sales team with the most information possible.
And communicate. Be sure that anyone you talk to on your team, they know what they're doing, why they're doing it, how they're going to do it, and who they're going to work with. It's that level of team buy-in that will help you be successful.
Now what we're starting to see is, we have salesperson A over here that is, prospecting, an account that lives within a hierarchy of a company, and they see salesperson B just made a sale to, another account within that same hierarchy selling X, Y, and Z product, right? And then those two salespeople are starting to talk and to share notes and to have discussions around this is what works.
Put on your sales hat, understand who your stakeholders are, and get them to understand the benefits of what this change will bring for them, what will be enhanced in their day-to-day, what will happen faster, cheaper, better, and more cleanly, so that way they can be more effective in their jobs.
One of the biggest issues that we face is whose opportunity is it? Is it marketing? Is it sales? If a person went to a trade show 15 days ago, but then, John Smith decides to go out and cold call, and this person was really warm from that event, is it a sales influenced opportunity or is it a marketing influenced opportunity? So what we were able to do is, one, make sure that we're all speaking the same language with clean data in our system. And then once we had that, we were actually able to define what those specific use cases are of when we can call an opportunity marketing source. We're actually able to now start to earmark certain campaign types coupled with specific campaign statuses within Traction Complete. And we're using that data and leveraging it and matching it to contacts. And then when those contacts are actually added to the opportunity, if they meet specific date requirements that we have set up in within our internal business, we can automatically set source of business for some of these opportunities to marketing.
In the 30 or 40 times that I have launched a new lead scoring method, it's always, hey, we're going to go and do We're going to revamp the number of points that we give something. We're going to do an education of people. We're going to go and launch it, and then we're going to watch, and then we're going to adjust as it comes. This time, we actually did a retrospective analysis using the new model. So meaning we had a new model, and then we actually ran old data or previous data through the model to actually be able to predict what the outcomes would be. And alleviating that fear is something that, where we had to pivot and never something that we never tried before. The other thing that we do that was completely net new is that instead of actually exposing how the engine actually works, which is, you get this many points for this, you get that many points for that, we actually, because we developed this lead scoring model from a data-driven perspective, it's a complex model where it's taking in, different factors, and there's so many different permutations that we just let the model drive the things that we needed to do.
Our top priority in February and March is strong channel relationships. We invest in these early in the year because by the end of the year, we know that our channel partners are busy with their own end of year closing. We're busy with our end of year closing. So we think investing in channel relationships early, building them strong is definitely an investment that pays off later in the year.
There's always going to be the next big project, but I think for me, when I look at, what excites me the most, some of our big projects include, how are we going to make our territory planning easier, simpler, and more transparent?
As sales hits the ground, selling into new territories, RevOps can help them streamline many activities simply by being the team responsible for watching over the information conversation.
And what we're really looking forward to doing this year is leveraging some of Traction Complete's territory management tools, and seeing what we can't do within our traction hierarchies to make that a little bit easier, to make it a little bit more data driven, to make sure that, when we're having conversations about which accounts and where and who gets what territory and all of these things, getting down to the granular zip code level, that we can do that backed with data that doesn't require a big report that gets put into a spreadsheet that needs 15 different pivot tables and all of these different meetings, that everybody can just access this data and look at it, that needs to, right? And so that is something that I am very excited that we are going to be taking on in this first quarter, and looking at how we can make improvements to that process.
One of our high priority projects for 2024 involves a revamping of our entire close process, most specifically around the paperwork and collaboration elements. So looking at all of the information that is required from a client to close, all the information required from us to close, whether it is your agreements, your quotes, your orders, your support packets, all those details, and really looking at with a fine-tooth comb to automate the handoffs, to reduce the red lines, reduce the conversation around it, and try to get to close faster.
Top priority in 2024, as I referenced before, is going to be our expansion of our analytics implementation. We've hit level 2, where our analytics are native and actionable. I'd like to get us to level 3 or 4, where we've got predictions, we've got recommendations embedded using machine learning and AI, which then hopefully sets us up for what I vision as the long-term goal, level 5, where we're automating the predictions that the AI machine learning is done. Now, we can't automate those without having some trust in those recommendations, and that's why we've got to go for a little bit where sales sees the recommendations and then says, okay, yeah, I like that recommendation, and we can see how many recommendations are actually implemented, and then we can start to automate the ones that are implemented at a high level. But the other side of that is we need to transform our back-end data as well.
At the core of it, it's clean data. After that, everything kind of falls into place.
To keep your data clean when a system is new, hopefully you'll never have to experience the pain of having to clean things up. And you do that by having a very orderly and managed way for change in your system.
There's lots of this take or wanting of new technology. But I think something that gets really left behind and not focused on is around the ways of working. And the ways of working and the interaction with our stakeholders can be, and in most of the time is 60% or more of the actual work that we actually need to get done, and ultimately can either be a hindrance to your success, or it could really accelerate your success, especially when you are driving alignment.